What's up, everybody? This was the first time I have started a live video and it worked right out of the gate. I don't know why I didn't do anything different, but this usually crashes on me over and over and over again. So I will wait for some people to show up. I'll tweet this link out. How's everybody doing tonight? Nobody is here yet. So I'll just wait. It's always kind of funny. Like, I don't schedule these live things. This live thing tonight just came about because I thought I would have edits done, but as I was going through the video, I was going through some stuff I was editing today. I thought I would have this video put together, but I didn't like the footage I had captured. It really didn't tell much of a story, so I didn't want to commit to I didn't want to force it into a vlog, so I just kind of threw it away. And yeah, that's another topic for another day. I'm a big fan of, like, committing to finishing something or just move on. I think, yeah, another topic for another day. Because today I wanted to talk about leading a new team. I got a great question over email with folks from someone. All right, let me find, all right, I want to get to the channels so I can watch any chat. How's everybody doing? There's a few people here. How is your evening going? How was the day? Happy Thursday. What's up, Sean? Thanks, dude. That's awesome. Good to hear from you. Stefan, welcome back. Thanks a lot. Peter, yeah, man. Happy Thursday to you, too. Hopefully your week's been going well. It's been awesome in Chicago. I don't know, it's been a really good summer. Not too much rain, hasn't been too hot. I don't know, the weather's been good enough to, like, run a lot more. Yeah, I went for like a 5-mile run today. Like, I'm not a real long distance runner, so I'm like trying to kind of keep going. And now I'm up to about 5 miles. I used to do this, but it's been a long time. But I don't know, I'm getting back into it. Sean loves seeing Isaac in the vlog, worked with him at Groupon. That's awesome. I will, he watches these too, so he might see your comment, and I will mention that I saw you online. Yeah, Isaac's a friend from high school. We go way back. He was in my wedding. But yeah, we go way back. We even worked together. Like, I got him a job working at a golf course I used to work at. So we've, our orbits have been, like, closely aligned. Yeah. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here. So here's the question I wanted to address. Somebody emailed me this question. I'm gonna leave out some of the details. I think this was like the subject of the email was like a question for the vlog, but there may have been some identifying stuff in here he didn't maybe want me to share exactly. So I'm gonna keep it kind of anonymous. But the question was mostly about, like, he was going to be taking over an engineering team. He had a new job, or was going to get a new job. This was maybe still in the works. He was going to take over as, like, the engineering director of a new team, a small team. Sounded like a small company. I don't exactly know what they do. They make software. It sounds like they make some kind of software product. And he was just kind of worried. He was worried that, he wanted to come in, he had a vision for what he wanted to get done, but he's worried about, I think, kind of alienating developers or feeling like he's steamrolling them, steamrolling right over them. He was kind of, I think, worried about, pushing his opinions and his changes onto these people who don't really know him that well. There was also a question, kind of a similar question, an overlapping question about cadence. He wanted to kind of get to a level of scheduling his developers to get stuff done like we've done at High Rise and stuff I've done in the past. So let me cover this. Number one, huge disclosure, I've never been quite in this situation. I've never had to kind of go into an organization and lead this, like, team of developers. Like, I've been a CTO multiple times, and it's been a situation where I founded a company, and then I got to hire people, right? And it just sort of kind of grew organically from there. Even this here at High Rise, when I took over High Rise, I had no employees. So I built this thing from scratch, just like a startup. So I brought in people, some people I trusted, some people I kind of knew a little bit, but we grew organically together. I did some, just some regular interviewing and hiring. So it wasn't exactly the same as, like, here's an established company that I have to come in and start changing their how they work. But, I mean, I do have some kind of thoughts about this. I think some of the same stuff that we're going through high rise is relevant here, is pertinent to this. One of the big ones, I think, is just establishing, this email that you sent didn't exactly address like what it is you're trying to correct for. You're starting this new job and you have a vision to change something, so I assume something's wrong or something's not going quite as well as everybody wants it to. If it were, you wouldn't be talking about changes if everything was going swimmingly. So I don't know what it is, so that might change my answer. But I think knowing that and getting your team to know what that is that needs to be changed as like an outside metric, like a North Star that has nothing to do with you, but maybe it's what the founders are talking about. And it's usually a piece of truth that everybody can just agree on. Maybe, the software quality sucks, right? So you've got tons of customers emailing you that things are broken, or maybe it's downtime, or maybe it's the speed of your application. Maybe it's super slow and everybody's complaining about the speed, or maybe it's just you're not getting features done that customers are asking for enough. So then, you can show them a graph of like, here's, what we're releasing. Those are these outside metrics that have nothing to do with you and your vision. This is just a truth. And so if you can get people kind of behind this, maybe they're not doing this. If you get people behind this, then it has really nothing to do with you. You get people to really focus on that North Star, and everybody kind of feels like this isn't about the new leader. It's about like, hey, yeah, we're failing at meeting the most important metric that, we know our company's success depends on. And that way, the decisions that you try to invoke or that you try to encourage people to follow you to implement, you all can point to that North Star and say, this is why we're changing whatever. This is why we're, going to be doing, I'm just making stuff up. This is why we're going to be doing better code reviews. This is why we're going to do pair programming. This is why, I don't know. I'm not even a fan of pair programming, but you get my point. You got to have maybe a method of telling people, like, you're not hitting what we need to hit, so we've got to make some changes. I think we even kind of struggled with this a little bit. We got really good at doing this when I started High-Rise, because I think High-Rise, when we started, we hadn't deployed anything, right? Like, I took over High-Rise because it was like the stagnant thing Basecamp wanted to keep growing and give its own resources, but they weren't doing it. And so we hadn't pushed any new features or things people wanted since maybe like 2012 or something like that. So for us, our North Star was simply just cadence, right? People wanted stuff and we weren't doing anything. So as soon as we got here, our North Star was like, are we getting something done, every couple weeks? It was like maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, we were trying to send out a new newsletter to mention 3 things, and that's it. That was the North Star. Are we able to send this newsletter out? And so when we weren't, I was able to kind of get with the team, be like, guys, we're failing at this measure, and this is going to make a big difference communicating to our customers that we're alive and we're not dead like a lot of people thought we were, and that we're taking this company seriously and we're improving this thing. So for you, it might be something else, but for us, I think that metric of, guys, we need to make this newsletter was perfect for High-Rise at the time. I think it's changing now a little bit. I think people see, like, we get a lot of stuff done. We're serious about improving the product. Now it's a lot about more relevancy and I think external stuff and getting more people to know that we exist. And just market and just software cadence isn't really going to fix that. So I'm not committing to it. I'm really thinking out loud here a little bit, but something I'm kind of debating is really changing our North Star to simply just be traffic. What are you working on today that's really going to help propel High-Rise to the world again? So I'm debating on its change too, but I think it's important. There's another really great post that I think could help with this, which is from Claire Liu, who runs Know Your Company. She wrote this post about one word you can change to change how people talk to you in your business as a leader. And it's, a lot of people go to their employees and are like, can you give me any feedback? Or do you have any feedback for me? She changes that word feedback to advice. Can you give me any advice? Do you have any advice for me? Advice is this stronger, it puts the relationship a little differently. If you're just looking for feedback, you ask customers for feedback, and a lot of feedback is often, kind of ignored or it's categorized. And I think people realize how weak just feedback is, but advice is telling your employees, like, hey, you're not just this hired hand. You are, even a mentor to me. We're partners. I see you not just, of course, maybe I'm the boss because I have more seniority or whatever, and I have to, at the end of the day, make the decision, but I respect your ability to really come up with some really great ideas, and I need your advice. Teach me how to do something. So really, it's a small twist in language, but I think psychologically, it's really important for your team. Again, maybe something I don't quite do enough myself. I hope my team feels empowered to kind of work independently and tell me the best things to do to solve problems and give me advice on how to get through our challenges. But I think that's a good one as a leader of a new team. Approach them as advisors to you. The other thing that was mentioned in this was simply just asking. They were interested in how can they get their team on a level of cadence like we've been at with High-Rise. Like, we get stuff done fast, and we regularly do it, right? I mean, when we started High-Rise, I was able to get people getting stuff done. Every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks, we were sending out these newsletters. I think this is one of those things where you need to get good at a couple things, like storytelling. The whole cadence thing came from that North Star, but it also came from the story I would tell people about Medtronic, which is this pharmaceutical company that created basically the pacemaker industry. Medtronic invented the pacemaker industry, $1 billion company, but years later, they were stuck. Their market growth had their growth just stopped and started tanking. All these new little startups started coming out with new products that they weren't all that innovative, these new products. Medtronic had thought a lot about these other products. It's just that Medtronic wasn't getting anything done. So Medtronic would be like, okay, let's come up with this idea XYZ. They would work on it for years, debate about it for years, and then they would see a startup come out with that same idea or a similar idea, and they would just kill their plans for the idea, or they'd try to go back to the drawing board and be like, well, we can't launch our version, it's going to be a copycat, let's just kill it, or they would be stuck in debate and not get anything launched. For a decade, they didn't launch any new products. That's what hurt them. It wasn't the lack of ideas. It was simply they didn't get anything done. So this new executive was put in charge of just getting stuff done on a regular basis. He implemented something called train schedules, which were just basically like, hey, trains, going through a subway system, a train system in a city, they're just on a clock, right? I mean, they're going out the door at this hour, whether you're on it or not. And so that's how he approached new features and new products. They would just announce like, hey, we're going to launch this new product in 2 years. We don't know what it is, but we're going to launch something. Something better be there. And hopefully your team is going to be on it and your team is going to be on it, but if you're not, you're going to miss out. And I think people, that whole missing out thing, and they want their work. We all are working so that people see our stuff. And if they know like, well, this launch is going to happen without me, people get motivated by this. And so that story of Medtronic is a good one. After Medtronic started launching new stuff regularly, their market share just started ballooning again. And you see this cadence in a lot of different companies that are worth talking about, like Apple. They've got a really great cadence of launching new products. You know when a new iPhone is going to get released over and over and over again. And I think a lot of customers expect that, like an expectation of like, well, you're going to keep improving this product, right? Over and over and over again. And so sharing those stories is important, I think, to kind of convince people in your organization that this is an important exercise. And I think I've gotten good at storytelling, and I've been able to share the story with my team and people on the internet, and people kind of get the value of that just from just telling these stories. So that's just something. It's kind of a multi-layered answer. But just sharing even that Medtronic story is a good one. And if you want to try to influence people out there, just even becoming a better storyteller is really important. That's about it. It's like 14 minutes long. That's a good size of time for this live YouTube thing. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Does anybody have any follow-up questions to me ranting about leading a new team? No? Any other follow-up questions? You're welcome, Peter. Yeah, I mean, and we lose it too. I mean, this isn't like, it's tough. It's tough to keep. Like right now we're working on an iPhone app that has really hurt our cadence. the whole team, and then we've had some like production, just like systems level stuff that really hurt us. So it's like, you know, it just throws a wrench into like that scheduling. All of a sudden, like, whoa, production issues have come up, and this iPhone app has taken a lot longer than it was supposed to, and it's hurt things. But you can always, you know what you're trying to go after, so it's, you know, that North Star. So it's easy to kind of get people like, hey guys, we lost sight of keeping our cadence. So you know, it's kind of easy to kind of return back to it. But it's hard to be perfect. No one's gonna be perfect at this. Cool. All right. Again, so this guy emailed me a question. If you guys want to email me anything, I mean, feel free to email me long stuff, and, you know, maybe tell me if you want me to share the details, but you could also feel free to be like, Nate, please anonymize this thing for the vlog. But I would love to, if you've got something, just email me, natecotney@gmail.com. So just Nate, my last name, which it's hard to spell, but it's on, it's not hard for me to spell. It's hard for everyone else to spell. But it's right there on YouTube. And that's it. If you are digging these videos, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to share a video, that would make a huge difference to growing this channel, and I would really appreciate it, please. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Yeah, I mean, stories that are rooted in evidence are always like a powerful thing, rather than just like leading with like, I need you to do this, guys. So that's Sean's kind of distillation of what I just said is probably like the best headline for this. Like, lead with some stories of proven evidence that have worked for people, you know, maybe even outside of your sphere. And that's a really good thing to kind of lead with, I think, to kind of encourage and influence people to see your way of thinking. So thank you, Sean. All right, guys. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. And thanks, guys. I really appreciate you watching these videos. It's been awesome. I get a lot of energy just doing these lives, doing the vlogs. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night.